the rain, some hail, and a possibility of tornadoes. That's more in the Ohio Valley, about south of here. So right now in Indianapolis, the high is going to be about 78 degrees, and right now it's just basically wet. So if you have your umbrella, you have anything that's going to keep you dry, you want to make sure you have that on hand, or just, you know what, maybe stay indoors for a little longer until the storm passes. Jen, back to you.
All right, Reagan Medji live in Indianapolis. Well, let's track those storms as they're going to be moving and over to parts of the east as we go through midweek. And what we're looking at right now, severe weather threat setting up in red. We're going to see thunderstorms from St. Louis over towards parts of western Virginia. Now, as we go through tonight, severe weather threat, once again, showers and thunderstorms out there. Expect to see some gusty winds as well as the possibility of some hail. And then we look ahead through today, the severe weather threat. You see it lit up in orange from parts of Midwest over towards areas including the Mid-Atlantic. That is today. How about some of your Torcons? For central and southern Illinois and Indiana, you have a 5. That means tornado conditions possible within about 50 miles. The same for southern Ohio and into northern Kentucky. That's where we're thinking we'll see the most activity. For tomorrow, we look at the severe weather threat setting up right along the coastal areas into parts of the Carolinas down towards Atlanta, Georgia. Isolated tornadoes will still be possible. Then we look at the Torcon numbers there. They're actually going to be a bit lower for eastern and northern South Carolina. We're looking at a number of 3. But then we see the next round of storms pushing out of the plains. And for tonight, we're still not over that severe weather threat. This is what's going to be happening for Rapid City as well as into Wichita. Showers and thunderstorms popping up, and that means some of these areas still looking at some more heavy rainfall. Then we see the stall front. We'll continue to see disturbances riding along it. So that's why even through this weekend, we're going to continue to see these storms coming possibly severe over the next several days, and certainly some wet times for areas including Missouri as well as into Kansas. You could see some pretty good rainfall amounts. Tomorrow, severe storms setting up for Little Rock as well as into the plains. This is Friday, virtually a repeat of what we're expecting on Thursday because that stationary front's just not budging. And again, we'll continue to watch what's happening there. Right now, we're going to send it over to Vivian.
Well, several days of active weather. You know, the severe weather also created the threat of tornadoes across the plains in the Midwest this morning. Right now, we do have a tornado warning. We'll get to that in a moment. Mike Bettis has been following the worst of it, of course, from Kearney, Nebraska. Let's show that tornado warning to you, though, right now, because this just issued, of course, from the local Weather Service office. This is a little closer inspection, and you can see the storms. This is between the border of Ohio and Kentucky. Ohio, of course, just to the north there, and we're noticing this particular thunderstorm as it moves off to the east to southeast. If you're in the county of Adams, Lewis, or Seattle, then you certainly want to be on the lookout because the signature on radar is indicating that this particular thunderstorm is creating a tornado. It has a little rotation associated with it. Of course, definitely keeping you updated on that. Okay, let's go to meteorologist Mike Bettis. He's been following the worst of some of these storms from Kearney, Nebraska. Mike?
In the wake of all the severe weather yesterday in Nebraska, we find ourselves in Kearney today. It has been cool and windy and kind of clammy and not what you would think of when you think of severe weather. So we'll be heading farther westbound. We don't think there's much chance for severe storms today in Kearney. We'll go west of North Platte, maybe near Sidney, Nebraska, or Sterling, Colorado, maybe even Cheyenne, Wyoming. The key today will be upslope flow and easterly wind into some elevation. You get enhanced lift. We'll get a little bit of wind shear and rotation, causing these usually big, beautiful, photogenic supercell thunderstorms. They often look like motherships in photos, and usually they're LP, or low precipitation, which makes them so photogenic, and you don't often have to worry about being in rain or hail with these storms. They don't often produce tornadoes either, but something we'll definitely watch for today and expect live reports throughout the afternoon, and of course live updates on Twitter as well. All you have to do is follow the hashtag Tornado Track, and we will see you later on today live on the Weather Channel. For now, in Kearney, Nebraska, I'm Mike Bettis.
All right, thanks very much, Mike. Of course, we'll continue to track severe weather all this afternoon, but now let's switch gears and see what's happening in the southeast. Here's Jennifer.
All right, Vivian, and what we're going to be looking at are actually more clouds around for parts of the southeast, but we're also going to be looking at some thunderstorms popping up. Right now we have a view of Atlanta, and I think that is 75. Vivian, you think that's 75 right now? I think it is. Traffic moving smoothly, dry roadways out there. That's what we want to point out to you. But we're all going to see these popping up as we go through the afternoon with some of the daytime heating. Right now, we have a temperature of 81 degrees. You can see no problems with the winds right now. Very quiet out there. Visibility, no problems at all. As we look at the front, it's going to be settling down towards the south. As this front does, it's going to be triggering those storms all along this. And this is going to last as we go all the way into the weekend. So it's going to start today. We're going to see it tomorrow, anywhere across parts of the Carolinas, as well as into parts of northern Alabama, as well as into regions like Tennessee. Now, as we go through Friday, the scattered storms in the forecast for you as well. That means, yeah, it's going to be one of those patterns where you just see those popping up with the daytime heating. The same through Saturday. Here it is for you, Atlanta. Hate to say this for you, but yeah, it's going to be spotty thunderstorm action out there. Hit or miss all the way through Saturday. Vivi.
All right, let's tell you more about that tornado warning that is in effect near the Ohio-Kentucky border. Here's a little inspection of it just to the north and east of Maysville. And you can see this particular thunderstorm is perhaps producing a tornado because we do have some rotation being detected on the overall radar picture here. The Doppler radar indicating a little twister just to the south of the West Union area and near Manchester. So please be careful. Possible tornado with this particular thunderstorm. Well, you know, we rely on tornado watches and warnings to prepare you for severe weather. But did you know that once we were not allowed to broadcast warnings or watches on TV? We'll have more on that.
Currently in our area, 81 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. Today, mainly cloudy, a few peaks of sunshine possible. High 82, winds east at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Tonight, cloudy intervals, low 74, winds southeast at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Prilosec's not made for immediate heartburn relief. Zantac's different. Zantac rushes relief in as little as 30 minutes. Prilosec can take 24 hours. Zantac, no pill relieves heartburn faster.
There's no better time to buy a Can-Am Spyder. Right now, get up to a $3,000 rebate, plus a 3-year warranty.
An exhilarating ride with awesome stability and control. Experience the freedom of the open road for yourself.
Find your local dealer at CanAmSpyder.com.
Mesothelioma victims and their loved ones may be entitled to a cash award from the $18 billion in asbestos trust funds, and you may not have to file a lawsuit to qualify. If diagnosed with mesothelioma or lung cancer caused by exposure to asbestos, call the number on your screen now. Even if a loved one had mesothelioma or asbestos lung cancer and has passed, your family may still be entitled to a cash award. Mesothelioma is a rare cancer caused by exposure to asbestos. Many victims worked in the Navy or in shipyards, mills, carpentry, roofing, insulation, construction, or automotive industries. For over 30 years, our legal team has successfully helped thousands of victims and families. Time is limited. You may not have to file a lawsuit. If your loved one has been diagnosed with mesothelioma or lung cancer caused by exposure to asbestos, please call 1-800-993-4678 now. That's 1-800-993-4678.
The chill of peppermint. The rich, dark chocolate. York peppermint patty. Get the sensation.
There's nothing I would rather do, nowhere I'd rather be. There's nothing that quite makes me feel the way you do here with me. I'm happy as I can be, 'cause I have you and you have me. I'm happy as I can be, 'cause I have you and you have me.
in our bones. Defiance never grows old. Citracal Maximum, calcium citrate plus D. Highly soluble, easily absorbed.
Check.
Energizer protects your devices from damaging leaks.
Grow. It's what we do. But when we put something in the ground, feed it, and care for it, don't we grow something more? We grow big celebrations and personal victories. We grow new beginnings and better endings, grand gestures and perfect quiet. We grow escape, bragging rights, happier happy hours. So let's grow something greater with Miracle-Gro. What will you grow? Share your story at miraclegrow.com.
This rain could be historic.
The rain and the lightning continues to just pummel this entire area.
I was scared to death.
It's like shooting mini cannonballs at the side of the house.
You definitely need to be heading to your safe place pretty soon.
It sounded like a world was coming to an end almost.
Hail and high winds over the last 24 hours, huge concerns. And even right now at this hour, we want to update you on a tornado warning that is in effect over the southern parts of Ohio. You can see that little cluster there. The local weather service office has issued a tornado warning because according to radar, there is some little twist with this particular thunderstorm pushing through the Concord area, again over the southern parts of Ohio, nearing the Kentucky border. It's moving off to the east, so if you're in the Sunshine area, Nile area, Pond Run area, or the Portsmouth area, please be on the lookout because this thunderstorm is very dangerous. Jen?
All right, thank you, Vivian. We'll continue to follow that tornado warning. Well, we at the Weather Channel regularly provide tornado watches and warning to prepare you for severe weather. Can you believe that at one time it was illegal to broadcast them on television? Well, back in 1954, forecasters at one Oklahoma City station ignored the federal law. Linda Cavanaugh at our KFOR affiliate has the story.
Some of the first footage of Oklahoma twisters. Even in black and white, the power of these deadly fingers of destruction is apparent. When forecaster Harry Volkman came to Channel 4, there was no warning system, even though Tinker had been issuing storm alerts.
They were not allowed to be used on the air for public broadcasting because they figured people would be panicked and frightened, and they said, besides, you really don't know how to do it that well, so it'd be a lot of false alarms.
Volkman was told to ignore the government. Station management believed the government policy was costing lives. They instructed Volkman to warn viewers the next time a serious storm appeared. When it did, they dispatched reporter Frank McGee to Tinker. He bootlegged the forecast over the phone to a worried Volkman.
It's against the rules of the government. And I said, we could actually be arrested for doing this.
But he went on the air and issued the first official tornado warning for the storm that caused this damage in Meeker. The station received an avalanche of mail from grateful viewers.
If it hadn't been for that tornado warning, some of us might have been hurt. And I think it has saved many a life by having those warnings on TV.
She heard the alert and started to the storm cellar, and their house was completely wrecked. And her television set was over in a field that she was watching just a few minutes before that.
Took about half the roof off my house. And the reason of this look of disgust on my face is because the insurance adjuster is here.
We had 2 tornado alerts this afternoon.
After the success of forecasting the Meeker storm, federal officials reconsidered their policy and changed it.
And that is how...
And
to the Midwest this morning. And our own Reagan Maggi is Indianapolis with the latest.
Well, here in Indianapolis, Indiana, is just a wet, kind of soggy day, and I've been calling it an on-off kind of day. On, it starts raining, starts windy a little bit, and then off. It just doesn't do much of anything. The high today is going to be 78 degrees. Now, throughout the day, we saw some wind gusts, we saw some rain, and temperatures drop. But early this morning, what did you miss? Basically a light show here in downtown Indianapolis. We saw lightning throughout the skies all over the place. At one point, our crew had to bunker down into our cars because we had to get out of the area where the lightning was. In addition, there were some airport delays. The roads, there was ponding on some of the roads, according to the National Weather Service. And then, of course, you got the commuters. People had to drive through that sloppy mess on the roadways. And now you come to this point of the day. Throughout the day, again, it's just going to be on and off with the rain. And then by the evening, it's really going to start firing up again with possibly damaging hail, gusts of wind, and the possibility of tornadoes. And of course, this rain that just isn't letting up. Back to you.
All right, thanks very much, Reagan. Of course, the rain still falling in Indianapolis, but the storms are moving east, right, Jennifer?
Yeah, they are, and they're moving to the east. And what we're looking at is, once again, the threat for thunderstorms to pop up. We could still see some of that hail arriving, in addition to some stronger winds. Here's your forecast for today. Heads up, what times around? You can see for northern parts of Illinois and Chicago. If you're in the red, we're going to be looking at the greatest chance for severe storms for parts of the lower Mississippi Valley, or I should say mid-Mississippi Valley, into parts of the mid-Atlantic. Look at that spreading into parts of Virginia. Severe storms possible. Here's your forecast for today. Thunderstorms all across the north, as well as into parts of Tennessee and Kentucky. And Kentucky, we're thinking you're going to be one of our areas with the greatest spot for a chance of development. Now, as we look for your Torcon numbers, some of these are going to be 5, ranging from parts of Illinois into southern Ohio into northern Kentucky. That means tornado conditions could be possible within 50 miles. For tomorrow, the severe weather threat moves over towards the east a bit more. We're going to add it into parts of mid-Atlantic, as well as into the Carolinas. Atlanta, you're going to be in there as well. Could see some isolated tornadoes out there. Torcons of 3 for parts of North and South Carolina. We're talking the eastern regions. And then as we look ahead for parts of the plains, well, we're going to see another round of storms trying to fire up. Today, tonight, we're going to be looking at that severe weather threat setting up for Rapid City, as well as into southern parts of Missouri, into northern Arkansas. We have the stalled front in place, and this is going to be the fuel where we're going to continue to see just several disturbances riding along it. And as it does, that means this is going to be in place through the weekend. That means wet times for southern parts of Missouri, as well as into parts of Oklahoma, Kansas. You could be looking at some incredible rainfall amounts if we go through the weekend. Now, as we show you through tomorrow, here's your severe weather threat for Joplin, Wichita, Sterling, and Little Rock, Arkansas. In addition to the threat for tornadoes, we're also talking, again, we could see some more of that hail. We saw some of that video earlier on. For Friday, the threat is going to be much like what we see on Thursday, but some areas like the Northeast, they're going to be enjoying some nice weather for this upcoming weekend. Vivian, over to you.
Well, you know, meteorologist Mike Bettis has been following the severe weather from Kearney, Nebraska, looking for tornadoes to pop up. He has the latest from there. Mike.
Very active 24 hours of weather across the state of Nebraska, from western to central to eastern. This has just been a state that's been hammered by high winds, in some places as high as 100 miles an hour. We've had hail, giant hail that has pelted the state, giant hail cores all over the place. And also we had a lot of flash flooding, especially around the Omaha area with record-setting rain. But we now turn our attention to today and what plays out today. Not a large area of widespread severe weather. We do have some opportunities for some storms in western Nebraska, in eastern Wyoming, northeastern Colorado, and then up through the Black Hills of South Dakota as well. This is a very interesting place for severe weather because you get some upslope influence where you get an easterly flow into some topography. You get a little bit more lift because of that, and you can overcome some things that you may not have necessarily that are jumping off the charts at you, like if you have weak instability, or maybe you have relatively weak shear, but maybe you've got enough that you can actually increase the upslope flow and increase the shear because of the topography. We're going to find out today. Usually they don't produce a lot of tornadoes. They often don't even produce a lot of rain or hail, but you get these big low precipitation supercells, as they're known. You look at them on photos and they look like motherships, these big alien ships. Very photogenic, and something we may find this afternoon as we play over toward the Sandhills and then near Cheyenne, Wyoming as well. But that's the latest here from Kearney, Nebraska. I'm meteorologist Mike Bettis. Back to you.
All right, thanks very much, Mike. Well, coming up, we've got continuing severe weather coverage. This time we'll head live to the gateway to the west, where heavy thunderstorms have pounded the St. Louis area for much of the morning.
And plus, the summer vacation season is upon us. We'll show you how to get the family vehicle road ready for any type of weather.
All right, updating you on that tornado warning still out now near the borders of Ohio and Kentucky. There it is because of this cluster coming in. It possibly contains a tornado. That's what's being indicated on Doppler radar. So please look out. If you're in Portsmouth, this thunderstorm is headed for you. Take cover now in the lowest floor and interior room of your home.
Surely I shouldn't just work on carpets. Well, the Dyson DC65 cleans better than any other vacuum across hard floors and carpets. Works for me.
Now save up to $100 on Dyson technology.
What's your favorite kind of Cheerios?
Honey Nut. But chocolate is my other favorite. Oh yeah, and frosted.
What's your most favorite?
The kind I have with you.
Me too.
This is Bob. Bob's on a first date, so he's not thinking about where to buy his next set of tires. But if he were, all he'd need to know is TireRack.com. Right now, he could get a $100 Tire Rack prepaid MasterCard when he buys a set of 4 select Kumho tires. For details, he'd go to TireRack.com/TV. But Bob's not thinking about tires. Bob's thinking, should I tell her about that thing in her teeth? TireRack.com. Find, deliver, install.
Wizarding World of Harry Potter, now with Diagon Alley and the Hogwarts Express. Come and live it. Universal Orlando Resort.
Currently in our area, 81 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. Today, mostly cloudy skies. High 82. Winds east at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Tonight, partly cloudy. Low 74. Winds southeast at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Tonight's scheduled programming will not be seen, so we can bring you essential severe weather coverage.
We're going to be with you all night long covering this severe weather threat.
Only on the Weather Channel.
I typed my name, and Ancestry opened the door to my past. Before my eyes, my family story was revealed. And the further I traveled back, the more I discovered. Let Ancestry guide you through the world's largest online collection of family history records. Discover your story today at Ancestry.com.
Grow. It's what we do. We grow big celebrations and personal victories. We grow new beginnings and better endings. Grand gestures, happier happy hours. So let's grow something greater with Miracle-Gro. What will you grow?
Fruit with a cool finish. Fruit on one side, cool on the other. Icebreakers Duo, a fruity cool way to break the ice.
We've been seeing some nasty hail and some dangerous winds.
The winds potentially here up to 100 miles per hour. Or whether you get the tornado or not, you're in trouble.
Right in front of us.
We had about an inch of hail in certain spots.
Totally destroyed.
I hope to God that nothing bad happened.
Well, here is what's left of all of those storms that plowed through the middle of the country yesterday into the overnight hours and even this morning. We still have a pocket of very heavy rain over northwestern Ohio, northern Indiana. But look at this renegade cluster that has broken out from the main branch over the southern parts of Ohio, kind of straddling the border of Kentucky. But a tornado warning has been issued for this area, and this warning will be out for another 30 minutes or so. Notice how the storm is not moving very quickly. I guess that's why this warning is out so long, but it has the potential now, according to Doppler radar, of producing a tornado as it barrels down on the Port Smith area. So if you're in the Fullerton area, Porter, Elizabeth, or any of the other counties just to the east now of the Fullerton area, then please be on the lookout, because more than likely this particular thunderstorm has some rotation with it, thus can spawn a tornado in the area. Again, that's southern Ohio near the border of Kentucky. As we take you back to southwestern Ohio around the Cincinnati area, just within the hour, we had a cluster of very dangerous lightning storms that moved through the area. Now they're pushing on off to the east, so if you live to the east of Cincinnati, watch out, dangerous lightning strikes associated with these storms as well. Jennifer?
All right, thank you, Vivian. Well, residents in parts of Nebraska are cleaning up damage today after record rainfall brought flooding and big hailstones came crashing down, damaging cars and homes. The Weather Channel's Kate Parker is north Omaha and Blair, Nebraska.
I'm here in Blair, Nebraska, so we're just about 30 minutes north of Omaha, where they received record rainfall yesterday in Omaha, 5.3 inches. But in Blair, we're talking about major hail damage, and this is not the only car. We have 4,300 cars reported in local dealership lots that have seen major hail damage. So we are going to be seeing major damage from that as far as the bills that start coming in. Problem is that you have broken windows, not just on cars, but on buildings, and you have more rain in the forecast. So you're already dealing with broken glass, but you add water intrusion on top of that, and you're talking about major price tag for the cleanup here going on in Omaha. Folks are working really hard to get cleaned up ahead of this next rain event, but they're doing the best they can, and unfortunately that may not be quite enough before we see some more damage here in Nebraska. Back to you.
All right, that's Kate Parker reporting. We'll continue to monitor the very latest on these storms throughout the afternoon. For now, let's switch gears and talk about a cool down for the Midwest. Chicago, good afternoon to you. Wet times out there on Michigan Avenue as we look and show you the current conditions across the region. Right now, we have a reading of 60 degrees, light rain, winds from the northeast at 12 miles per hour. But how about your next several days ahead? We show you this. Today, high 65. You can call that a high. Your average high temperature should be 76. We get closer to that on Friday and Saturday, and the 60s return Sunday and Monday.
Well, stay with us. We're continuing to track the severe weather threat here on Weather Center Live. Thunderstorms making their way into the Midwest when the heaviest rain is expected to fall, and could it cause problems for your commute home from work? We have all the details for you to keep you safe. Keep it tuned right here.
And this will be your premium right here.
Sorry to interrupt. I just want to say I combined home and auto with State Farm. Saved $760. Love this guy.
Okay, does it bother anybody else that the mime is talking? Freaky.
Bundle home and auto, and you could save $760.
All right, Mama, let's get going. Nap time is calling my name.
Get to a better state. State Farm.
Of milk, all the deliciousness of Hershey's syrup. Squeeze, stir, share.
So, you're saying you'll give me my credit score for free? Right. Now you're going to ask for my credit card so you can charge me on the down low 2 weeks later. Look, Credit Karma.
Are you talking to websites again?
This website says free credit scores.
Oh, Credit Karma. Yeah, it's really free. Look, you don't even have to put in your credit card information. What? Credit Karma. Really free credit scores. Really free.
Credit Karma, I love you.
There's no better time to buy a Can-Am Spyder. Right now, get up to a $3,000 rebate, plus a 3-year warranty.
An exhilarating ride with awesome stability and control. Experience the freedom of the open road for yourself.
Find your local dealer at CanAmSpyder.com.
When you start strong, 2014 North American Truck of the Year strong, you keep going. Introducing the new Chevy Silverado Heavy Duty with an available 765 pound-feet of torque, best-in-class conventional towing, and over 100 billion miles of real-world Duramax and Allison experience on the road. Strong just got stronger. Chevrolet, find new roads.
You do your swipe from anywhere thing? We'll be here at LifeLock doing our thing, watching out for your identity, data breach or not. Get LifeLock protection and live life free.
I'm taking a beating here down to the ground as we're just dealing with these sheets of rain and winds that are howling 50, 60 miles per hour.
Awesome is choosing from lots of exciting movies here.
Right, baby.
And enjoying classics here. Get unlimited access anywhere you want, anytime you want. Watch all your favorites commercial-free with StreamPix. Enjoy unlimited access to hit movies on your TV and mobile devices anytime, anywhere. Don't have StreamPix? Go to the Xfinity On Demand menu or call 1-800-XFINITY to upgrade for only $4.99 more a month. Start watching today.
So I remember my GPA from college, and I know my IQ.
Okay.
And I know what blood type I have.
Oh wow.
Yeah. I don't know my credit score.
You don't know your credit score?
I don't know my credit score.
That's really important. I mean,
I don't know my.
Don't you want to buy a house like ever? You should probably check out Credit Karma. It's free.
Credit Karma, free.
Free.
That's how much?
That's how much it's free.
Credit Karma. Really free credit scores. No credit card needed.
866-2838 now. That's 1-855-266-2838.
Tonight's scheduled programming will not be seen, so we can bring you essential severe weather coverage.
We're going to be with you all night long covering this severe weather threat.
Only on the Weather Channel.
Stay tuned for your Local on the 8s, brought to you by Olive Garden. Get together at Olive Garden. We're all family here.
Olive Garden's latest inspiration? You. You told us your #1 Olive Garden dishes. Now they're part of our 2 for $25 guest favorites, featuring for the very first time your all-time favorite dish, creamy chicken Alfredo. And our seductive shrimp mezzaluna you love so much, we brought it back. Unlimited salad and breadsticks, 2 entrees, and dessert. It's our most inspired 2 for $25 ever. Olive Garden. We're all family here. Discover 70 Pronto lunch combinations starting at $6.99.
Currently in our area, 81 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. Today, mostly cloudy skies. High 82. Winds east at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Tonight, partly cloudy. Low 74. Winds southeast at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Hailstones fell in parts of Nebraska last night. Powerful storms moved through the area, bringing with it high winds and some of the hailstones as wide as 2 inches in diameter. That's almost the size of a tennis ball now. Extensive damage was reported as car windows were shattered and even some houses were damaged. And that rough weather continues into the Midwest this morning. Take a look at the storms now. We have that tornado warning in effect. There you see the little red encased area, a severe thunderstorm warning too. This particular cluster producing more hailstones and even, according to Doppler radar, some rotation now in the area. So around Portsmouth, and watch out if you are in Elizabeth, that's across the extreme southern parts of Ohio, because more than likely this thunderstorm is capable of producing a tornado. Now, thunderstorms and strong winds pushed through, bringing rain and knocking out power to many yesterday. Reynolds Wolf has been following these storms from St. Louis.
Well, I'm coming to you specifically from the Spirit of St. Louis Airport, where earlier the Spirit was a dark one. We had a lot of rain that was coming down. Take a look at this video. We had the heavy rain, the strong winds. The video shows you some of the raindrops coming in sideways, in fact. I mean, just really, really brutal stuff, but I got to tell you, far worse in other parts of the state. As I come back to me here, you can notice the sun is out, the sky's improving. We've got drier air that's coming through, very stable air mass for the time being. But keep in mind, there are many parts of the region that are dealing with a lot of tree damage, a lot of wind damage that knocked out power to over 26,000 customers. That's going to take some time to rebuild. The storm system is now going to make its way into parts of the Ohio Valley, where they're going to deal with this through the afternoon and possibly the evening. And then back in the northern plains, well, Mike Bettis is there for the potential rough weather they could have through the afternoon. Let's send it back to you in the studio.
That's right. Another busy afternoon for us here at the Weather Channel, and we are here to keep you safe. Back to you, Jennifer.
All right. Thank you, Vivian. Well, for many of you, the kids are out of school, and that means it's time to hit the road for vacation. But there are some things you need to do before you hit the roadways with your car to make sure you have a smooth trip. Well, meteorologist Keith Carson talked to a Michelin expert and has the best advice for checking your tires.
Well, summer's around the corner. That means road trip season. So sell me on why I need to care about my tires.
That's right. So tires are very important to you and your passenger safety because really they're the only thing touching the road between you and the road.
Okay, so you're going to check a couple of things out. First eyeball test would be inflation.
Right. So tire inflation is very important. We recommend once a month or before a long road trip. And there's two easy ways to do that. You can open the door, look on the sticker in the door jamb, and it'll give you the recommended pressure, or in the owner's manual inside the glove compartment.
All right, so that's pretty easy. What are the other things we need to think about? Tread. Hear all about this penny. What are we doing with the penny?
So the tried and true penny test, you look at Abraham Lincoln's head and you stick it into the shallowest groove of your tire tread, right? If you can see his head, it's really time to replace your tires.
Bald tires, not good for anyone.
Not good.
What else can we do to make sure that we're safe here?
Well, the tread on your tire is directly related to traction, right? So that's what keeps you on the road. So tires like the Michelin Premier All-Season tire, which is designed to excel in wet weather traction, you have to think about those kind of things too.
Tire technology, like a lot of other things, has evolved, getting smarter and smarter.
Right.
All right, rotating the tires. That one, I know for sure that I hear a lot about this. You want to keep them rotated.
That's really important, because what it's going to do is it will extend the life of your tires. So about every 6,000 to 8,000 miles, you want to think about rotating your tires, and that will also contribute to your vehicle's handling, traction, and safety.
Okay, and so those are 3 tips before you go on a long road trip or just on a monthly basis that you should do. Thank you, Lynn. I much appreciate that. You're going to be disappointed when you realize I drive a bicycle on the parking lot. So
important too.
Yeah. All right, back to you.
All right, there is Keith Carson. Keith texted me to give me a little trouble for saying something about his shirt. I think you look handsome in that shirt, Keith.
Okay, now you have. Yeah, all right. Well, you know what? It looks like we're in for a repeat of some of the huge storms that we saw over the plains. Yeah, that system brought hailstones, lightning strikes, and torrential rains in Nebraska, and it's all headed east.
Brought to you by Michelin. Introducing the Premier AS tire, providing your family with enhanced safety in all seasons.
There once was a hungry road that wouldn't let drivers get very far. It wore out their tires, forcing them to buy new ones time and time again. Then along came the Michelin man who proved the right tire changes everything. With long-lasting tires in place, those drivers were back on the road to saving money. Drive longer with the Michelin Defender tire, backed by a 90,000-mile limited warranty. Michelin, a better way forward.
How's the camping trip?
Well, kids had fun, but I think I slept on a rock. What are you doing?
Having coffee.
Sounds good.
I thought you'd say that.
The best part of waking
You're the best.
Wake up to the mountain-grown aroma of Folgers.
Folgers in your cup.
This Father's Day, let's turn our hero into a superhero. Let's give him the power, consult with his sidekick, and equip him with all the super toys he needs, all on a mild-mannered budget, so he can spend some quality time back in his lair. Then come out strong and save the day. Let's do this. More saving, more doing. That's the power of the Home Depot. The Husky 200-piece mechanics tool set, just $99, guaranteed forever.
Oh!
What is it?
There are no marshmallows in this box of Lucky Charms.
Huh. Weird.
Seriously?
What?
They're magically delicious.
Who are we? We are the thinkers, the job jugglers, the up-all-nighters, and the ones who turn ideas into action. We've made our passions our life's work. We strive for the moments where we can say, I did it. We are entrepreneurs who started it all with a signature. LegalZoom has helped start over 1 million businesses, turning dreamers into business owners. And we're here to help start yours.
Boring! If you want to see your faithful,
he's such a couch potato.
Yeah, just go check out the thing for yourself.
Highlander. Ain't got no room for boring. There's Vertiger, Steven, No, we ain't got no room for boring. For boring, we ain't got no room.
The 2014 Highlander. Toyota.
Let's go places!
I'm taking a beating here down to the ground as we're just dealing with these sheets of rain and winds that are howling 50, 60 miles per hour. I'm gonna ride this one out, guys. I'm gonna ride this one out right here.
Currently in our area, 81 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. Today, mostly cloudy skies. High 82. Winds east at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Tonight, partly cloudy. Low 74. Winds southeast at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Tonight's scheduled programming will not be seen, so we can bring you essential severe weather coverage.
We're going to be with you all night long covering this severe weather threat.
Only on the Weather Channel.
Hello and welcome back to Weather Center Live. I'm Vivian Brown.
And I'm Jennifer Delgado. Let's get you right to the storms that pummeled the plains last night. Nebraska and Iowa, one of the two states that hit the hardest with the huge hail. Now, sizes ranged up to softball size hail. Now, the whipping winds added more punch, gusts topping 90 miles per hour as this system quickly moved to the east. As for tornadoes, the National Weather Service is investigating 12 reports. Right now, it's the Midwest that's getting most of the action. And Vivian's got the very latest. And Vivian, what are we seeing right now on the radar?
Yeah, we've been watching southern Ohio with the most active conditions. A tornado warning remains in effect for the area. So let's get right to it because we've been watching this particular thunderstorm. Notice how it kind of breaks away from the main area of heavy rain over northwestern Ohio into northern Indiana. But let's hone in a little bit closer, and you can see we still have the tornado warning. There's also a severe thunderstorm warning there, but Porter, Port Smith, and Willisburg, please be on the lookout because this is a very dangerous thunderstorm. Again, according to Doppler radar, it does have some rotation with it, so perhaps producing a tornado as it approaches the Elizabeth area in the southern parts of Ohio. Very dangerous lightning strikes too associated with this cluster. Look at the lightning data that we've put on as it pushed through the Port Smith area. Back towards Cincinnati, you just dealt with a little short line of storms that's moving off to your east. And notice a little farther north and west, we've noticed the clearing conditions in Indianapolis. Speaking of Indianapolis, thunderstorms brought rain and lightning to parts of the region. Our own Reagan Maggi is in Indianapolis with the latest.
Here in Indianapolis, Indiana, you can pretty much bet you're going to be a wet mess all day. You don't want to forget that umbrella. But let's take you through the entire day. Here in downtown Indianapolis, what we saw earlier today, a spectacular light show. Basically, a bunch of lightning all throughout the area, above us, around us, behind us, in front of us. And at one point, our crew had to bunker down inside of our cars to make sure we're out of harm's way. In addition, that also caused, with the rain and the lightning, some delays at the airports. And then those commuters having to travel on Interstate 65 and Interstate 70 to behind me, they had to deal with possibility of the ponding on the roadways. And speaking of the roads, you got East New York Street here in a residential area of Indianapolis, and basically that was another issue. But throughout the day, we're going to see another band of strong storms coming through, gusty winds, possibility of hail, possibility of tornadoes, and of course, a lot more rain. Back to you.
All right, Reagan. Yeah, absolutely. More of that rain is going to be coming down, and it's going to be moving over towards the east. And this is going to be in place today. And even as we go through the next couple days, some people are going to be looking at showers and thunderstorms through the weekend. Let's talk about the setup. Of course, the jet stream all the way up towards the north. As we show you, this system in the front is going to be moving over towards the east. As it does, we are going to continue to see storms firing up along this front as we go through late week. And then the problem is it's going to be stalling out. Now, for today, here's your severe weather threat. We're looking at thunderstorms in the forecast from St. Louis as well as into Cincinnati, into Roanoke. That includes parts of the mid-Atlantic. Your Torcon numbers at a 5 for central and southern Illinois and Indiana. We have another 5 for southern Ohio as well as into northern Kentucky. Now, the greatest threat today is going to be the damaging winds as well as the hail. And then into tomorrow, we're still tracking this. Look at this. For parts of the mid-Atlantic as well as into the Carolinas, Atlanta, Charlotte, you are also going to be under the threat for some of these storms, producing some isolated tornadoes, and in addition to the hail and the stronger winds. Here's a look at tomorrow. Torcon of 3 for parts of North Carolina and South Carolina. And then we're going to see another round of storms trying to fire out of the plains, where many areas saw some very heavy rainfall. Here's tonight's forecast from Rapid City as well as down to parts of Kansas into Oklahoma. We'll see the chance for some storms. Here is that front. It's going to be stalled, but we're going to continue to see disturbances moving through this as we go through the upcoming weekend. That means some of these locations like Kansas as well as into parts of Oklahoma, we could be looking at some heavier rainfall, some flooding problems there. This is what we're looking at as we go all the way through the upcoming weekend. Yes, it's going to be severe even for tomorrow. It includes Wichita, Joplin, as well as into Little Rock, Arkansas. And then for Friday, you guessed it, pretty much the same thing as Thursday. Over to you, Vivian.
Thanks, Jennifer. Well, you know, the severe weather also created the threat of tornadoes across the plains in the Midwest this morning. And our own meteorologist, Mike Bettis, has been tracking the storms from Kearney, Nebraska.
In the wake of all the severe weather yesterday in Nebraska, we find ourselves in Kearney today. It has been cool and windy and kind of clammy, and not what you would think of when you think of severe weather. So we'll be heading farther westbound. We don't think there's much chance for severe storms today in Kearney. We'll go west of North Platte, maybe near Sidney, Nebraska, or Sterling, Colorado, maybe even Cheyenne, Wyoming. The key today will be upslope flow and easterly wind into some elevation. You get enhanced lift. We'll get a little bit of wind shear and rotation, causing these usually big, beautiful, photogenic supercell thunderstorms. They often look like motherships in photos, and usually they're LP, or low precipitation, which makes them so photogenic, and you don't often have to worry about being in rain or hail with these storms. They don't often produce tornadoes either. But something we'll definitely watch for today and expect live reports throughout the afternoon, and of course live updates on Twitter as well. All you have to do is follow the hashtag Tornado Track, and we will see you later on today live on the Weather Channel. For now, in Kearney, Nebraska, I'm Mike Bettis.
All right, thanks, Mike, from Kearney, Nebraska. Now we'll continue to track severe weather all afternoon, but for now, let's switch gears and see what's happening in the southeast.
Yeah.
Here's Jennifer.
Vivian, right now we're looking at Nashville, Tennessee. This is Vanderbilt University, and all is quiet there. Of course, we're looking at summertime and kids are out. And as we look and show you, it's dry there, but we are going to be looking at the potential for more of these storms to pop up across parts of the southeast. We're talking some of that daytime heating as well. Now, Nashville, 82 degrees for the temperature right now, and no problems visibility-wise. But as we go through the day as well as even into the weekend, we have a front that's going to be settling down towards the south, and this is going to allow for some of these storms to develop as we go into Saturday as well as into Sunday. If you see the green area, that means for you, Memphis, Nashville, Atlanta, as well as into Charleston, Showers and thunderstorms for Thursday, Friday, even into Saturday. And we're going to hang on to that threat even into Sunday because that front is just not going to be budging. Here it is. You can see for Florida, many people probably heading there for the weekend. The reality is you'll be looking at those storms popping up. Here's your forecast for you. Nashville, 82 degrees, spotty thunderstorm activity. And for Friday and Saturday, the same thing. High temperatures generally in the mid to upper 80s. And of course, it's going to be a bit muggy out there. Right now, we're going to send it over to Vivian.
All right, thanks, Jennifer. Well, we rely on tornado watches and warnings to prepare us for severe weather. But did you know that once they were not allowed to be broadcast on TV? Coming up, we're learning all about the man who broke the rules and put out the first televised warning. Plus, hot and dry conditions continuing to affect drought-stricken areas of Kansas and Texas. But some relief could be on the way. The chance for rain later in the week. That's coming up after your local on the 8th. And here's a look at that tornado warning that is still in effect now. With this particular cluster of storms, this thunderstorm moving toward Elizabeth in southern Ohio could produce a tornado as it moves off to the east to southeast. Please take cover now if you're in the Elizabeth area or just west of Elizabeth, because you want to move to an interior room on the lowest floor of your home. Get away from all windows. We think this particular thunderstorm could produce a tornado indicated on Doppler radar. This is a cluster of storms that has broken out ahead of the main batch of heavy rain off to the west now. So please, if you're in the Elizabeth area in southern Ohio, watch out for a possible tornado. Also, dangerous lightning strikes associated with this particular cluster. It's all moving east-southeast now, so riding near the border of Ohio and Kentucky as we follow this particular cluster of storms off to the south and east. Another perspective of the radar does show mainly on the intersection of Highway 23 and 56 there as it moves off to the east, and just to the west now in Marysville we're finding another line of storms that's trying to develop. It too is moving off to the east. Keep it tuned right here. Weather Center Live returns right after this short break.
Currently in our area, 82 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. Today, mostly cloudy skies. High 82. Winds east at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Tonight, partly cloudy. Low 74. Winds southeast at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Kids are fed?
Kids are fed, homework is done, baths are taken.
I'm impressed. Looks like you've got everything under control.
We got it all under control here. We're all good, right, guys?
Yeah. Yeah, we're all good here. Yep.
Love you guys.
Love you.
Love you.
Bye.
Love you.
Finally, a paint that's stain resistant and scrubbable.